Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas, and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host, Dennis Simpson, as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village, the award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village, is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007 or find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com.
Life here has been interesting.
Yes, it has. My husband and I decided to build, and most of the way through the process, they decided we don't have any more money to finish your house, too bad. So between that and then my husband's stroke and later death, 2 dogs, it's like...
It's just been a crazy time.
It's been a very crazy time. And I just can't say enough for the wonderful people here in the village.
Well, and with that, welcome to another episode of Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Myself, Dennis Simpson. Randy Cantrell is still on the mend. He's got a patch over one eye. He's getting better.
Good.
Shouldn't be long. And we have Miss Audrey with us today. Audrey is with the Entertainment Foundation here in Hot Springs Village. And how many years have you been here, Audrey?
Actually, we moved into this house about 7 years ago.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry.
And almost 8 actually being here.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your husband, but you reiterate a point that we cover often, and that is people in the village are just nice folks.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and
there's I don't believe there's a safer place to be a widow, and I actually just started a widows club, and I did, and so I knew several other women who have lost their husbands rather unexpectedly, and we've just started, and we'll see where that goes.
Now, is this the Hot Widows Club, or is this like the just, what?
We just call it the Widows Club. We'll let everybody else decide.
Well, today we're going to start with the Entertainment Foundation.
I love talking
Why
about
do we need an entertainment foundation? Come on. We got entertainment. We don't need no foundation, right?
Yes. Well, actually, we really found the need that so many seniors and veterans and underserved get no entertainment. And if there's one thing that the pandemic has taught us is how much we need the arts and what it feels like to be cooped up with 4 walls. And so we did some research and developed our mission statement and our philosophy and what we want to do, and it has literally taken off. And despite the fact that over 2 years of it was in a pandemic, and probably in a week or two, we'll have entertained over 5,000.
Are you serious?
I am really serious.
Well,
yes.
And I don't want to skip ahead. Well, the one of the foundations of this is Ken Goodman, who we all know and love.
He's a founding member. Yes.
Oh my Lord, what a great guy! And we'll come back to that in just a minute. So,
absolutely.
What was the impetus? I mean, obviously, was this founded during the COVID, or was it just happened that way?
Actually, no. After my husband died, I needed to figure out what I was going to do. I went back to my roots, having been a professional entertainer and a retired educator, and met Ken when we performed in a show, and we just felt that other people said, we want to support you in this. And so a year later, the Entertainment Foundation was born out. We had an idea and a vision, and we developed the mission statement, and then we just started putting everything into place. And in February of 2019, we had our first, what we call a visitation show. And that's our signature program where we go where seniors, veterans, and underserved groups gather. Could be at nursing homes, it could be at senior centers, it could be at veterans facilities, all of that. And I'll tell you, it's been overwhelming, the response. And we have a second entertainer. We're eventually going to add entertainers with that. They have to have a unique skill set, and because of what we know, what we want, and what they need. And so, yeah,
And
so since that February 13th, and our first facility was the Caring Place in Hot Springs.
yeah, and I'm in my mind, I'm just mulling through. I'm putting together all this now. By the way, listeners, in case you think I know all the answers to what we're talking about, I'm learning this too. And viewers, by the way. So was it fall of 2020 when Ken Goodman was in the middle of Ponce de Leon outside the nursing center and was singing a concert to that? Was it fall 2021 or 2020?
Summer, and well, actually, when the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
in almost a year after we started, we ended up converting all of our equipment to battery, and we started performing patio performances and sidewalk serenades. And what that means is we were just outside, because that was they were not allowed inside. So there was one facility, it was one lot, we literally went window to window, which sounds creepy, but that's, yeah, really, hi, and with the equipment. And we actually had a gentleman kept beckoning. And of course, we're like, no, we can't go inside. And what he was doing is he had a nurse who was in full garb, and he was trying to get her to do something. And next thing you know, he puts his feeble little hands up against the window with a sign that said, "Thank you."
Oh,
That's why we do it.
we all have it. We think of 9/11 and other big things that have happened in our lives, and we think where we were and what we were doing and whatever. And we all
Sure.
have little snapshots. One of my snapshots, I've got several snapshots of COVID. One is seeing Ken stand in the middle of the street with a microphone and a battery backup and a speaker serenading the entire Mount Carmel.
Yeah, we've done Mount Carmel, we've done Village Springs, we've done all of the areas. Yeah, Mount Carmel, Good Sam's. Good Sam's is great because if you go on the back side of Cedar Lodge,
Yeah.
basically there's a little parking lot and all these balconies. And so the people were out on the balconies and on lawn chairs 6 feet apart, and we performed there. It was phenomenal. And the acoustics there were quite good
Well,
too.
it effectively was an amphitheater is what it came down
Yeah,
to.
exactly. It was,
Oh,
and it
my
was
Lord.
loads of fun.
Okay, well, Audrey, and this is all pre-discussion. This is pre-roll of sorts, but it's not. But that is to say, we're talking about an upcoming concert, September the 15th, if I'm not mistaken. Is that at
Correct.
the Woodlands or Coronado?
Woodlands at 7:30.
Okay, this is the beautiful one with the great acoustics. So now the other one has a good sound system now, and that's at 7:30. What would we expect to see? What's the name? Is it just the Village Foundation? I mean, the Entertainment Foundation, or what?
Well, it is our annual fundraiser, and we're presenting Ken and his band along with Mary Beth Bird, who was a top 8 finalist on The Voice for season 17.
Let me
She
get
was
this straight. Mary Beth Bird. If I'm
she's
not
from Northeast.
mistaken,
She's
yeah,
from Northeast Arkansas.
I think Mr. Lackey told me that was she working at Oaklawn or is working at Oaklawn or?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay.
Because she's from Northeast Arkansas.
Yeah.
And in my conversations with her, she does a lot of traveling. So
Okay.
and she said she's never been to this area before,
really?
so this will be a first time for her.
And this would be a eighth, or what they call it, semifinals or whatever.
She was she was the top out of all of them left over. She was one of the 8.
And I remember her,
And
if I'm not mistaken.
she was
Jonesboro area. Yeah.
correct. Amarel.
Very,
is that how you pronounce it?
I'm sorry.
Not being Southern, I don't know.
What was it?
Amarel?
Armorel?
Yeah, it's Armorel.
I think it is Armorel.
Up near Paragould and Jonesboro in that area.
Yeah.
Very small town.
So what are the funds go to that are raised for the show?
It goes to the Entertainment Foundation because we facilities don't have the funds to have any kind of entertainment. Very little, and yet at the same time, made in heaven these entertainers, professional entertainers, because we have professional entertainers who come, and they have mouths to feed, and mortgages to pay. So, they can't, $25 just doesn't cut it. So, but together we can fund what they can't, so that all these entities are benefiting.
Tell,
And
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. I apologize. I apologize. I hate to interrupt. I was just going to say, I don't remember that I asked you what the directive or what the creed of the foundation is. What's the objective? What's the mission statement?
The mission statement, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And our mission is to enrich the lives of veterans, senior adults, and the underserved by providing quality live entertainment and excellence in music.
It's funny you should say that, because the definition of live entertainment has changed over the years. And I don't mean that derogatorily. It really has.
No.
You know it has, and I do too.
Mhm.
But to have a man or a woman with a microphone and a soundtrack in front of a crowd and nothing else, or a band or whatever, it's real. And actually, before I hit the record button, I was talking with you about one of my friends, Doug Lackey, who does work with you on some stuff.
Yes.
And we were at lunch the other day, and I was bemoaning something, and it's odd. It's very odd. You'll get it as an entertainer. Do you remember when we were kids, we would watch the movies? We got the newspaper. Remember that, when they made those?
Oh,
Yeah. And in the newspaper, it would say, Fantasia held over for 3 weeks, third week held over. You're like, ooh, this must be good. They're holding this over, They don't hold anything over yet. They got a calendar, they got a schedule. Doesn't matter how much you love it. It's going to video next month, blah, 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 blah. Right.
Yeah.
Going to video, going to streaming. And I thought about that, and I thought, well, it's kind of something I miss of sorts. And then it really hit me, and I remembered what I really missed, because this is stupid, but Doug got it as a live performer. When was the last time in a big concert you saw the leader or the singer turn around and go, "Hey, one more time"? Can't do that. It's got to have a click track. It's got to have the backup vocals. It's got to have the backup band. You say, well, they were performing live. Well, there could have been some backup music in the background. And
we're going to be totally live on September 15th.
That's what I'm getting at. This will be live. If Doug or Ken turns and says, "One more time," you can really do it, as opposed to.
I'll make sure in your honor that he says
please
that.
Please do. Well, and so what kind of music are we going to hear that night? Not as if it's not already a wonderfully worthwhile cause.
Thank you very much. I think it's going to be an incredible night of music, variety of genres. I mean, she's typically soul, gospel, country, and pop, of course.
Sure.
And Ken does the pop classics and his Broadway, and he does country as well. And I think it's he's an incredible humorist. I think we're looking for a very fun, entertaining quality with these two vocalists. No question. So it brings goosebumps when I think about it.
Let's reiterate how you and I reconnected last night. That doesn't sound good, does it? No, I was getting out of a car after dropping off my parents and my lovely wife at the Woodlands, and you were parking your car, and I drove past. I was like, nah, I don't want that spot.
I drove right back. Oh,
look, right by the stage door.
Just like everybody else in the village.
Not everybody appreciates the value of the stage door entrance. No, unless you've been a performer, you're like, whatever. People go in that way. Yeah. But no, we've reconnected. You were in one of my classes, and we had talked before. But when we go down that path last night, we were at, because people don't know when this was recorded, we're the 22nd, I believe. Last night on the 21st, we had Brent Barnes and Bill Y. And I'd interviewed Bill Y. And what a funny group of great entertainers they were last night. I didn't want the concert to end. And I remembered a guy came up, and he patted Larry Wilson on the back, who was with the Lifelong Learning Institute and helped put this together. And he said, "More concerts like this." And all I can hear in my mind is, this is more concerts like that.
Absolutely.
It's entertaining. It's funny. It's all kinds of genre. You say, well, I don't like country. Well, good. It's not going to be all country. Well, I don't like pop. Well, it's not going to be all pop.
There's definitely something there for everyone. No question.
Well, if I know, is Doug involved in this?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's going to be horns, isn't there? There's going to be horns. Will there be horns?
We have Doug is going to be there, along with John Van Houten, who plays multiple instruments, and
Really?
James Galbraith, who does the drums.
Great.
She will be bringing her accompanist,
Really?
and yes, and he I think is guitar, but who knows what else he's going to do. So
Wow. Wow.
mhm.
And how much are tickets, and where can we go to hsvticketsales.com and get them, or
Absolutely,
no?
please
Oh, we
do.
can. We can. Okay.
Please do. That's there, and looking forward to seeing as many people as possible, because the surrounding communities. I mean, we've been to the Jackson House, we've been to the caring places I had mentioned, and many senior centers and nursing homes and memory care facilities, and you name it. And
Mm.
we do basically one per quarter, because we want to make it special for
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
remember, and they constantly want us back.
Well,
Um,
what if somebody wanted to? Is there a mailing list that they can join to get on? And
Absolutely. Our website is the entertainmentfoundation.org,
uh-huh.
and you can sign up for our newsletter. Also, you'll see information on how to quickly go to the ticket site for our fundraiser. They can donate online, which we always appreciate very much. As a 501c3, and I'm starting to get very busy. So I
Yeah.
would love to have help. So, but you need to pay them. So that type of thing. And like I said, it started to take off in 2019, and then the pandemic came, and it was almost too fast.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
gave us a chance to slow down, get our footing, get our foundation of this, so that we can build from that. And now that everything's opening up and facilities are finding out all about us, I'm getting calls.
Great. And
And
it sounds like a
and
place. Sounds like a place that your ticket sales dollar don't leave town. They just get
no,
returned and returned and returned and
into this
returned many times
community,
fold.
absolutely, to this
Yeah.
community.
How
Yes.
fantastic. And now this, once again, I'm going to reiterate, because I'm slow and the reason this works is because I'm late the audience and I have to ask the question about 5 times, because that's what
You go for it.
September the
I was a
15th.
middle school teacher, so I have no problem.
Repetition is the mother of learning, as I recall. So September the 15th at what?
7:30 at
7:30.
the
It's going to be a
Woodlands.
late night show. Woo!
Yeah, but it's going to be well worth it.
It sounds
Take a
great.
nap, and then we
Take a nap. So, okay, I think we've covered this topic, and I think so. The entertainmentfoundation.org. I'm sorry.
.org.
.org. Go sign up, buy a ticket, get ready to go September the 15th. If you know the village like I know the village, I suspect this is going to sell out. So I would encourage you to get a ticket soon, would be my suggestion.
It would be well worth their while. I think it
Yeah.
would be something
You would
worth
be very
treasuring.
disappointed. You'd be very disappointed if you sold out on this and missed it. But now
Yes.
let's go back here just a little further, Miss Audrey. So, you said the or the, and I'm thinking that's not a South Arkansas dialect. I don't
No.
think that's no. That,
I'm sorry.
This would not be a Dixie chick, if you know what I'm saying. This is a Connecticut chick.
No.
No,
Further north.
further. New England.
In New England, well, Connecticut can be considered part of New England.
Sure. No, I understand.
But I'm about as New England as down east as you get. I'm from Maine.
Maine. So, okay,
Yes.
tell us the story. How did you get to the village? Well, we know we came with your husband, but still, what did you do between you were born a small child and then you're here?
Oh, been a dancer most of my life, and taught school, met my husband, and we lived there for, I'll just say, a long time.
In Maine,
And
in the Maine area?
In Maine, yeah. He's from originally from a family potato farm in northern Maine in Aroostook County, which is up near the Canadian border.
What, for all 4 weeks that you have summer, he grows potatoes? How does he do that?
This was part of his upbringing, and because he lived on a potato farm.
Really?
And I was in southern Maine, and we eventually met when he came after he got out of the Army, and he had worked with he's a general dentist, and he had his practice in Topsom, Maine, which is just outside of Brunswick.
So tell me, and truly, I'm joking about the weather all 4 weeks of summer, but I mean, really, what's it like? I don't know. A lot of the year it's really nice, right?
Well, The summers are absolutely gorgeous. July and August, when it's hot here, that's when I go home.
You're not
and
here usually, is what I
and
heard.
and of course the ocean is something you just can't. It's really a four season state.
Really?
Although sometimes spring is more like mud season, but um, it's
Here too, if you
the
want to be frank
ocean.
about it. Yeah.
It's true. Every region has its little pitfall.
Yeah.
But the ocean is incredible. The mountains incredible, and it's just so much. And it really bothers me when people say, "Oh, I crossed the border and went to Kittery." You
So,
know, yeah, so you stood on the line and had 1 foot in Maine and 1 foot in New Hampshire. Woohoo! So it's there's so much to do, and the scenery is incredible. And in fact, I have a lot of people that say, "Oh, that is one place I want to go," and I said, "See me, and I'll give you the key places to visit when you go."
really?
And of course, they all want lobster,
Yeah, I was about to say the seafood sounds like it'd be pretty good too.
and it's second to none, really. Yeah, somehow it's disappointing, and I'm allergic to lobster and
Are you
seafood, but I
serious?
can have fish.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
you're
sorry to
just
admit.
you're just being shellfish.
Yeah, it's shellfish. But I can have fish, and I'll tell you, the salmon there is not the salmon here. So
Really? Yeah, I bet. I bet. I
yeah,
bet. So, I mean,
yeah. In fact, they have
there's
a salmon festival up the county, up
really
near Washington County.
now.
Yeah, and it's one of the biggest areas where they do try to maintain the
Now, if
salmon
I'm not mistaken,
population.
a lot of forestry there too, as I understand.
Quite a bit. Like Arkansas, Maine is a very rural state. But
Hmm.
what people don't understand is that geographically, the center of New England actually is in Maine. The
Really?
population isn't. Population's in Massachusetts, but the center of the population, but the center geographically is in southern Maine. Um, One time I flew to a rustic, and it was just you look out the window and it's just forest.
Really? Really?
And
And I've got to ask. You said, and I think you mentioned just a moment ago. You said there were parallels and similarities between Arkansas and, I mean, very rural and very green. I assume too, right?
absolutely, yeah, it's very large. We only have like a little over a million people
Really?
for that geographic size. It's probably the largest state in all of New England. And then you've got Arkansas, which is over 3 million people.
Yeah, I was going to
So
say, yeah.
think about that in and of itself. And you know how much farmland and so forth you see in Arkansas. Could you imagine what that is like in Maine? So
Yeah, yeah. Well, we one of the things I tell people is there's 75 counties in Arkansas, and just this way, and that way,
yeah.
west and northwest of here, where the national forest is, we have counties that don't have 10,000 people, don't have 5,000 people.
Oh,
You know, so
that's probably most of it in Maine.
really,
Yeah,
really,
we have pockets up near Aroostook County. There's a pocket of population.
no, say it, Bangor, Bangor.
No, we say Bangor, and every time they sing that song, I have to say Bangor, not Banga. Uh,
Banga.
and that's another one. There's Lewiston, Auburn, and then of course there's Portland and Cumberland in York counties.
So give me a quick, because I'm always the guy that gives people the guide that come here, I should say, excuse me. So what time would you go? What season? When's the leaf
Oh,
season? When's all that?
summer is truly the best time, unless you're a snow enthusiast. And there are many skiers, snowshoers, uh, snowmobilers, a lot of that.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
and I'm being silly here, but I'm trying to learn a little as we go. But
mhm.
um, the winters are harsh and cold, and there's snow, but it is somewhat moderated by the ocean, I guess.
It depends on where you are because the weather is very different. Along the coast, you could get ice instead of snow.
Mm,
The other season I would do is the foliage season, end of September, 1st of October, end of September in northern Maine, southern Maine, pretty much the beginning up to Columbus Day,
yeah.
because there is nothing, nothing. like a New England foliage
They
season.
say, I've heard that. I've never been there. I'd like to. So spring is when-ish?
Oh, that's a real good question. It could be March, could be April. We've had
Is
snowstorms in
is
then.
this where we put a truck out on the ice and we wait to see when it falls through? Is that game?
Yeah. Yeah, that has a tendency to happen.
I know
Or
we.
that or a snowmobile. If it's not a truck, it's a snowmobile.
Oh, really?
Or walking out. You have to be very careful.
I bet. Well,
Yeah.
Audrey, it has been absolutely delightful. Let's recap. We're going to have the Entertainment Foundation is going to have a great concert September the 15th at 7:30 at the Woodlands. Repetition is the mother of learning. And you can buy
Absolutely.
those tickets at hsvticketsales.com. hsvticketsales.com. I would encourage you to buy them before they sell out. They are for sale now, aren't they?
They certainly are. So that's why they can go to our website and get not only click the link to get directly to order the tickets, but they can also sign up for our newsletter and check out all that we do.
And be a volunteer, because and I don't mean this wrong. The village is full of great volunteer opportunities. I don't mean this wrong. Some of them are just volunteer opportunities. Some of them make you really feel good. And I cannot
Yes.
fathom singing to veterans or senior citizens or whatever, and entertaining them and seeing that deep, deep, deep heartfelt appreciation. People are not clamoring to come to nursing homes and sing to people. I don't know if you know that. There's not a
No.
waiting line usually. So when they do see entertainment, they appreciate it.
And our sort of motto is to help they become the stars of the show. And we want to help them shine their light from within.
How
Because
sweet.
mental health is so important, and I think it's becoming in the forefront, and how important it really is, not just for us in our daily lives and having work-life balance, but for them as well, because we've also done homebound couples. So
Really?
just anybody who we have a program called Senior Sweethearts, and we actually had a couple from the village
Really?
received the awards and gave them a bouquet of flowers and all of that. And another upcoming project that we've got is in November. We call that our November Blessings, and that is when we honor all the veterans who have given service to our country and help them recognize and show the value that we still recognize their service because of the freedoms we have, and
Oh,
we need to cherish.
amen and amen. And that's fantastic. I love that idea. I wanted to just bring up in an ancillary note, those of you who follow us and take our recommendations, which I don't know that I fairly encourage that sometimes, because we do veer off the path occasionally. But if you have a problem in being too stoic and too rigid in a movie and never tearing up in a movie, then you need to see the Glenn Campbell show, I'll Be Me, about dementia and memory loss, and you will not have a problem with shedding a tear. That's one of the most sad yet uplifting at the same time. So
And I was very fortunate to actually see one of his final performances.
were you now?
He came to Maine and at the Merrill Auditorium in Portland, and his seats over 2,000. And this man can play guitar like there's no tomorrow.
Well, let's go back to this.
And
Yeah.
his daughter had to kind of lean over now and again and to say, okay, we have to stop,
Well, and
wrap this
one
song
of
up.
if it's part of what the which is a documentary, but it's part of one of the shows, and
Mhm.
you say, well, how sweet, his daughter saying we have to stop or whatever, and you would see moments where he would be very angry and very frustrated. Well,
Mhm.
because he wasn't the man he used to be. We'll all be
No,
there someday, whether it's
not at
dementia
all.
or whatever. But I remember more than anything, and I think where I'm wanting to go with this is that he had muscle memory for music, for his songs.
Absolutely.
He would turn, and this is one of the most tragic moments I've ever seen on film.
Mhm.
He turned and could not remember his own daughter's name, who was on
Mhm.
stage singing with him, who was a great,
Mhm.
incredibly talented girl. But
Mhm.
then he would go back and sing Southern Nights and never miss a word, never miss a lick,
Exactly.
do some of the most incredible guitar runs you've ever seen in your life, and turn and go, now where are we again? So it's not lost on me the incredible power that music has to supersede so many of our failings and so many of our
Mhm.
shortcomings as we get older. Is that a fair comment?
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons we go to memory care facilities.
I can imagine so. I can imagine so. Audrey, it has been an absolute delight. Thank you for being on with us.
It is totally my pleasure, and it's
Wow,
always great to see you,
great.
Dennis.
Is there a way we could pencil you in for next month or next quarter? Maybe we could follow up.
Absolutely.
Really, I mean, not everything's going to be a big at the Woodlands event, but at the
That's
same
correct.
time, honestly, and I'm saying this to the people because I know there are people listening and watching that,
Mhm.
well, we really haven't gotten engaged in the community yet. Well, we've thought about getting part of a group, and we may be Rotary. I'm part of Rotary. I love Rotary.
Mhm.
But if you want to really give and really get back, I can imagine helping a group like this, Audrey. You would take as many volunteers as step forward, I assume.
Absolutely. We would definitely work with them and what time the commitments they have and what expertise they can bring. So
Yeah. Well,
we love working with them.
you know how that expertise thing is. Huge. If you're looking for an expert in the village, you can be overrun very, very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, for Hot Springs Village Inside Out, Dennis Simpson, Audrey,
And Audrey Findlen.
and Audrey
Thank
Findlen,
you.
and the Hot Spring, the entertainmentfoundation.org. We
Thank
will see
you
you
very
next time.
much.
Thanks,
Thank
dear.
you.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a podcast where Hot Springs Village, Arkansas is the star. Please subscribe to the podcast. You can do that by visiting our website, hsvinsideout.com, and tell a friend.